Okay, so now we're going to be getting at this, the regulator. We're going to clean it up inside. Just a bolt and then another flathead up there. We're going to label the wires so they reattach properly. Okay, so here's our Massey 65 voltage regulator. It sits up in there like that. And there's 4 wires. One in the back here, on that side. You can see that it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it looks nice and clean everywhere. So we're going to open it up and clean the contact points and put it back in, but boy, if that seal is nice and good, I'm really doubtful it's going to make any difference. This is amazingly clean. I don't see a little contact point there. One open. So we are getting a little tiny bit of white coming off of the contacts, but kind of hard to imagine that something that clean would make that much difference. We're just using some 800 grit paper here. So after I finish following what this YouTube guide did, it says here, never use sandpaper or emery cloth. Dress the points sparingly. But I think they're talking about rough sandpaper. I used 800 grit. But it says here you're supposed to use a spoon or riffler file because one of each of the pair of points is flat. Okay, well I did continuity checks between the generator, the 2 wires going from the generator to the regulator. Did continuity checks, just sending a wire over there, clamps, and it's good. And then I checked the battery with the power probe, and it's fine. There's a 3rd wire going somewhere, this L, and doesn't seem to go anywhere according to the diagram, and I don't get any power or anything on that, so no power or ground, so I guess that's okay. So I just stopped in because it's easier to do that with the regulator out before I put it all back in again. So that's what I'll do now, put it all back in. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Okay, so the regulator is hooked back up again, and we're ready to test it. I did notice quite a bit of oxidization there, but I mean, there's no way that would have been it, I'm sure. It always starts nice when it's cold. There's a piece of metal apparently in the regulator that expands and contracts, and it gets to a certain point and it opens up. I mean, obviously you're not sure you're going to change your regulator before you change your generator. This time that's all it is. Well, not. Plus, you're not really supposed to be servicing a regulator that way. What we should have done in the first place right here is to start the motor and then remove the negative terminal, and then we're going to see what happens. There. So that means we know the problem's either in the generator or in the regulator. This digital version of the service manual, and it was supposed to be everything you needed for servicing your Massey Ferguson. But what I'm continually finding, there's major sections missing. Like any section here, any generalized section is missing. So how to test the generator is not available. Just specific stuff to the model. And 90% of the stuff that was on the digital file is for the wrong engine, for the diesel engine anyway, so it's a real pain. Don't ever buy those digital files, just buy the paper manual if you can. One thing I forgot is that with the Massey Ferguson, you have to polarize with the A. You don't polarize with the F like in a lot of, probably most other tractors. So the voltage is back to showing the same as before. So again, the regulator doesn't seem... So here's the big problem that I have also with this digital manual. I mean, it just says model 4A203 engine. And it says that all over the place. Sometimes it says 4D203 engine. But really, there's the Perkins diesel, and then there's the Continental gas. So this is a different motor. This isn't mine. Because the Massey 65, there's 4 wires that come out of the voltage regulator. But there's only 2, on my tractor, there's 2 wires coming out of the voltmeter. And only 2. There's no place to put a third one. So here you see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coming out of there. So I don't know if I can find my motor in here. This electrical diagram, which again, I can't be sure, but it looks a lot like mine. There's nowhere in the diagram for the coil. We got the generator, the starter. I can't find the coil anywhere. Alright, so we're gonna disconnect the belt from the generator. This 1/2 inch. Loosen it off, and then we're going to follow the instructions and apply power here and see if the generator spins. Okay, so here we're testing the generator. There's the pulley over there. And we have a wire here that's going back to the positive, which always goes. So we're going to see. So the generator is working. So that tells us, it's good news I think, because it tells us that it's the regulator. The only thing about this test is it's not really testing how much voltage is coming out of it or anything, right? Like, it's not a real proper test. What you really should do is hook up a voltmeter and I guess cut into the regulator somehow. Enough for me to buy the voltage regulator, leave this project and come back.